The Dallas Cowboys are buyers at the 2024 NFL trade deadline after all. They have made a move for Jonathan Mingo, the Panthers wide receiver, the former second-round pick. We'll break down what is a rather expensive trade for the not productive wide receiver from Carolina. The contract is at least favorable for Dallas. We'll break that all down. We will also be live later this afternoon for the NFL trade deadline. I don't think Dallas will make any more moves. We shall see on that front. Don't miss out, though. Hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/CowboysTV. Here are the trade details involving Jonathan Mingo. Cowboys getting a 7th-round pick in 2025 back. They have also flipped a 4th-round pick to Carolina. And it is the 4th-round pick that is what is frankly upsetting about this particular trade. As we'll get into, Mingo was a former top 50 pick. There's athletic ability, there's upside, there's I can fix him stuff. He hasn't been good, and you just flipped what's going to be a top 120 pick for a guy with like 12 catches. Someone would already kind of say, oh, it's a net 5th. No, it's not. It's not. It's not a net 5th-round pick. It's not. That 7th-rounder is going to be probably like the first 7th-round pick. At best, you're going from a mid-4th-round pick to still a mid-4th-round pick. Like, you're not really – it's not a net 5th. That's a straight-up inaccurate statement. What the Cowboys have done is decide that they think they can fix Jonathan Mingo. They think they can save him. His career production has not been very good. He had 43 catches, 418 yards last year, no touchdowns. This year has 12 catches and 0 touchdowns. He has 6 career drops over the course of his NFL career. He has 4 first downs this season and 2 drops. It has not been good in Carolina for Jonathan Mingo. He's got good size. He's 6'2", 220. He's faster than most of your receivers. He fits that more X-receiver prototype you don't really have on the roster right now. So that's fine. The idea of adding Mingo is one thing. Trading a 4th-round pick for him doesn't make sense. I don't believe there was a single NFL organization that was willing to have a 4th-round pick for Mingo outside of the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think any NFL team wanted to do that. It is kind of wild to see, and the contract plays a big role. Mingo's cheap for 3 years, so that's fine. Or I should say 2.5 years. He's cheap. Okay, cool. The Panthers traded their best receiver, Deontay Johnson, for a 5th and 6th pick swap, and the Cowboys gave up a 4th for the Panthers' 5th best wide receiver. Legitimately, if you include Johnson, he had been passed by Coker, been passed by Xavier Legette, had been passed by David Moore on the team's player usage. When you got a chance to trade for the 5th best wide receiver on the NFL's worst team, you got to do it, right? Give me your one-word reaction to the Jonathan Mingo trade here by the Dallas Cowboys. It's the pinned comment on today's video. The ad comes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there. Let me know. My one word is overpay. That's what this is. This is the Trey Lance trade where you gave up more than what anyone else wanted to do. You got a little bit desperate, it feels like. You don't. He's not going to be catching passes from Dak Prescott right now. Dak's going to IR. I would put the over-under at Christmas the next time we see him. And at that point, you might not even bother bringing him back. He is better. Honestly, I will take Jonathan Mingo over Jalen Brooks. Is that worth a 4th-round pick? I don't think so. I assume you'll put Dak on IR and make room for Mingo that way via the trade here. I just don't understand why the Cowboys seemingly lose every trade. I'm not even going to be that mad over they gave up more for Mingo than they got back for Amari Cooper. That is a straight up fact. But whatever, the Amari Cooper stuff is done. It's over with. Like, I don't want to always lean on that. But like, this trade in the bubble doesn't make any sense. You can go look at the Panthers fans' timelines, and they are celebrating right now. Like, we got a 4th-round pick for this guy. It's normally a bad sign. I will be cheering for Jonathan Mingo. I will be glad that there's a little bit more speed on this roster. If you're buying low on a reclamation project except you didn't spend buy low draft capital. 4th round pick for him is just, I just don't get it. Now, today's show is made possible by Game Time. Game Time is the place for last-minute tickets to your next big event. If you haven't already, check out the Game Time Picks feature. Makes getting tickets to favorite teams play live even easier. It filters out the fluff to only show you incredible deals on great seats. So don't have to waste time searching through thousands of different tickets. It's curation designed to save you more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, everything else in between. Download the Game Time app, create your account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create your account, redeem code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's Game Time. Also, check out their all-in pricing feature. Toggle it on to show your total cost up front. That way you know you're always getting the best deal. The Game Time guarantee is this too. You find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference, so you know you're always getting the best deal. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. It's gametime.co, promo code CHATSPORTS. Funnily enough, the Cowboys were clearly higher on Mingo. You know, Jerry Jones made the comment of, we're adding somebody we liked a lot coming out of the draft. I was not nearly as high on Mingo coming out of Ole Miss. I had a 3rd/4th round grade on him. I had him as my number 13 wide receiver, my number 96 overall player in that class. He actually went number 39 overall to the Carolina Panthers. His highlight reel play, which I was very mean about, I will admit, I tweeted out. He's playing the floor is lava with Bryce Young, and Bryce Young throws it behind him so Mingo can stop and make the catch, and Mingo jumps 5 yards out of bounds. It's honestly a very weird play. His best year was kind of a one-year wonder in Ole Miss, by the way. 861 yards. He was about 50-50 that final year in the slot, which I don't think you're going to do. He is a really good athlete. 4.46 40 at 6'1" and change. They list him at 6'2". It's fine. 220 pounds. It was all in-breaking stuff. It was slants. It was ins. It was drags. 61% of his targets came between the numbers. He hasn't really been deployed that same way in Carolina. He's had issues with drops in college and has had them in the NFL. He's not an elite, yak forced missed tackle guy. I don't think he played as fast as his testing did, but he's an elite athlete. Which, hey, at least you got the elite athlete side there. I wasn't as high on him coming out of Ole Miss. He went super early because that class in particular didn't have any big receivers. Mingo was one of the big receivers because JSN's not a big guy. Quentin Johnston was, but he's kind of a weirder prospect. It was Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, Josh Downs, Tyler Scott, Marvin Mims, Tank Dell, Jaden Reed, Rashee Rice, Parker Washington, Charlie Jones, only. There weren't a lot of big receivers. Jalen Hyatt's tall but skinny. A.T. Perry was a big receiver, certainly. Cedric Tillman was like one of your few true X receivers. Mingo just hasn't lived up to the hype in the NFL. So you did the buy low trade, but you didn't pay buy low cost. So grade this trade for me. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comments section how you feel about the trade made here by the Dallas Cowboys. A, B, C, D, or F. I know I'm being negative, and I do want to make clear I'm gonna cheer for Mingo. I hope he plays great. I hope I look silly. Then he looks awesome, and he develops into a very good starting wide receiver for the Cowboys. The athletic ability is there. You know, he tested like a Chris Conley. I'm hoping you get more than Chris Conley in the NFL. But I refuse to believe, and I doubt we'll get reports. Maybe we will, and I'll refresh Twitter right now, that this was, anything other than the Cowboys added a lot more. That they paid more than anybody else did. Like, you paid more than DeAndre Hopkins netted. And I get that Hopkins has 1 year left on his deal. You paid more than Deontay Johnson, which was basically a pick swap. It just reeks of an overpay. The cost matters. The contract matters. I do want to emphasize that part. You've got Mingo for what amounts to less than $600,000 this year. He's due 1.55 next year. He's due under 2 in 2026. He's super cheap. He doesn't really help you on special teams, so he's got to at least be your wide receiver 3. I just kind of feel like you're adding another Jalen Tolbert level wide receiver, which I needed more than that. I would have preferred to keep my 4th round pick because I still think, unless Mingo plays great, fingers crossed, I still think you need another wide receiver in the draft. And you just spend a draft pick on one that hopefully can be a hell of a lot more than he ever was in Carolina.